Don't ruin my weekend. I'll never forget the weekend me and a group of friends decided to rent a condo in a popular tourist town. It was supposed to be the perfect place. Close to the sights, big enough to accommodate us, and we were ready to have a fun, relaxing mini vacation. We paid a pretty penny, expecting at least a decent setup. What we got was a building that was borderline unsafe and a pair of busybodies who nearly ruined the entire trip. 2 years ago, we arrived at this condo building, arms loaded with bags of food and luggage. Right off the bat, the building was a far cry from the sleek and sturdy property we imagined. The exterior stairwells were rotted in places, railings were loose. It looked like the place was one good storm away from falling apart, but we told ourselves, hey, it's just a place to crash. We won't be spending much time here anyway. So we brushed it off and started unloading. Not even a half hour in, trouble started. We had one vehicle parked in the unloading zone, which we figured was fine while we carried groceries and suitcases. This took all of 20 minutes. Then up marches this woman who introduces herself by effectively not introducing herself. You need to move your car, she snaps. It's been there too long. She's short-haired, a scowl on her face, arms crossed like she runs the place. Turns out she does run the place, at least in her mind, because she quickly says, I'm the president of the COA, and if you step out of line again, I'll have you removed without a refund. That escalated quickly. We politely nodded, moved the car, figuring she was just your classic Karen, being fussy. Soon after, a black pickup truck pulls up, and she beelines over to talk to the driver, who never even got out. We don't think much of it. Maybe that's her friend or something. We keep unloading and head inside. Not long after, another group checks into the condo next to ours. Karen's nowhere to be seen, so they don't get that nasty first impression. We're slightly jealous they might avoid her wrath, but oh well. We all have dinner plans that night, so we shuffle off, leaving behind the rickety building and its co-president. We end up staying out pretty late, having fun around town. By the time we return, everything's quiet. We crash. Next morning, bright and early, we can hear the condo next door rocking with some kind of party vibes. They're out barbecuing, blasting music, evidently pre-gaming for the busy tourist weekend. There must be more friends in town because it sounds like a mini-festival over there. Meanwhile, we notice that black pickup from before circling the area again and again, maybe once an hour. It creeps by, does a slow pass, and keeps going. Could be a local, or maybe it's that Karen friend. We shrug it off. We go about our day, having our own fun. By the time dinner rolls around again, we do a quick check back at the condo. Still the same loudness next door. We figure we'll hang in our unit for a bit, have a few pre-game drinks, then head out for the night. But when we arrive home, the entire property looks like the epicenter of a massive rager. People everywhere. By the pool, in the walkways, music pounding. We quietly slip into our condo, lock the doors, and joke among ourselves. Let's make sure we document we aren't part of that mess. So we snap a few pictures, videos, just in case the host wonders who trashed the building. We're chilling with the TV on low, just background football commentary, no big deal. Then, bam, our door slams open. Some guy storms in, face furious, shouting, "What the fuck are you assholes doing?" We jump up, instincts ready to fight because we think it's some drunk partier who got the wrong door. Turns out, this uninvited guest is the condo's owner, the host, and right behind him stands Karen, arms folded, face twisted in triumph. Immediately, the host unleashes a torrent of yelling, saying we're throwing a huge party, that we're out of control. Karen chimes in about how we're destroying the condo, and that we need to leave. She threatens to have us evicted on the spot. We try to reason with them to step outside, let us talk calmly. But they refuse. They keep screaming that we're done, no refund. Get out. We exchange baffled looks, because we're not even the ones partying. It's literally next door. Meanwhile, we're trying to record everything on our phones. Thank God for that. But they're so angry they don't notice at first. When we mention we'll call the cops, the condo owner's eyes go wide. He sees one of my friends already on the phone, presumably with 911. Suddenly, the guy's entire demeanor changes, like he realizes the gravity of forcing entry into a rented property. Karen, seeing this shift, keeps chirping from the hallway, but the owner hisses at her to go upstairs. She begrudgingly does. We told the dispatcher that someone forcibly entered our condo, was aggressive, and we felt threatened. The cops arrived in full force because they had initial reports of a break-in or an irate individual. They see the chaos. The massive party next door is still in full swing. while we're sober and quietly in our unit. The officers break up the party, telling those folks to either head inside or keep it down. Our confrontation. The cops gather info from us, from the condo owner, from Karen, who's half shouting from her balcony, claiming we did this or that. The police quickly realize we're not at fault. The condo owner tries to do damage control, sweet-talking the officers, telling us, "Let's just smooth this over." We're not hearing it. He forcibly entered our unit, yelling insults. Basically tried to evict us on the word of Karen, who can't tell one group of renters from another. In an attempt to salvage things, the owner says we can stay. No problem. But we're done. We show him the portion of our rental contract that states an owner can't enter except under specific emergency conditions, none of which apply here. We also mention how we have video evidence if he tries to keep our money. We decide to pack up and call the third-party booking company, telling them we need reaccommodation or a refund. They manage to place us in a nearby motel. The cops remain until we finish gathering our things, ensuring no more fights break out. Host's parting shot. He tries to maintain a friendly face, but we can see the anger roiling under the surface. He says if we vacate, we'll get no refund, blah blah. We shrug, walk out with our bags, and head to the motel. That's presumably the end of it. Right. I can't just let that go. We paid good money for a nightmare. The condo was unsafe, we got harassed by a neighbor, and the host literally barged in. My group wants to forget it, but I remember that I used to work in code enforcement in that very town. Fire safety, building codes, local ordinances, the whole deal. So I draft a complaint. Not just any complaint, but a detailed, thorough, bullet-point-laden monster about the property's litany of violations. Rotted stairs, loose railings, possible structural hazards. You name it. The same hazards we spotted upon arrival. I filed that complaint with the town. The inspector apparently went out to investigate soon after and was so appalled they red-tagged the entire property, meaning it's declared uninhabitable until the owners fix everything. This forced the COA, Condominium Owners Association, to cough up tens of thousands of dollars, over $70,000, for immediate repairs just to pass safety codes. They also faced penalties and had to reapply for their rental license. Word on the street was that Karen might have been under investigation for mismanaging COA funds or something along those lines, but I never heard the final outcome. All I know is that the fiasco drained the association's treasury, and each unit had to pay a big chunk. End result. They lost their ability to rent out the property short-term until the major issues got sorted. It was a serious blow to their livelihood. Don't break code or harass paying guests. We ended up getting a full refund from the third-party booking platform, so we didn't lose a penny. The new motel might not have been as conveniently located, but it was drama-free. No psycho neighbor, no meltdown host. We enjoyed the rest of our weekend, albeit with a story for the ages. Moral of the story: if you're going to be an asshole, like Karen with her false accusations or the condo owner busting into our place, be prepared to face the consequences. Some people might just slink away, but others, like me, remember our skill sets and fight back the proper legal way. Because in the end, doing it the right way, documenting everything, lodging official complaints, yields sweet satisfaction. That building had it coming, and they paid the price for ignoring safety and letting a petty neighbor's vendetta cause chaos. Ultimately, no regrets here. We got our revenge, and we got our refund. All it cost me was a little time drafting that complaint. The condo owner, he lost a lot more. As for Karen, presumably she's still perched in her unit, half shot in the ass, stirring up trouble. But now, she does it in a building that's no longer out of code. You're welcome, Karen. Enjoy your safe railing. Don't ruin my weekend again.